Am I being heard? Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to Singapore. It's been a minute since we last saw each other. I'm Scotch of the Racing Statistics commentary team. I see a lot of you are already here, and it is nice to see all of you. So we have Ollie with us here. Ollie, are you there? Okay, apparently not. So we have about 5 minutes once again to clear up. I am Scotch, not Ollie, commentating for you here. Okay, just give Ollie. It, apologies for the issues. Hey, okay, we're having some issues with Ollie right now, so that's fine. That's fine. So we can see everyone here. We have Paula, Dark Meow, everyone here. Yeah, it's with the rain having sprinkled in earlier this race. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, we had some issues there. Apparently, you could not all hear me. But yeah, about 1 minute to go before the race. Anyone else have any questions? No? Yeah, Max on soft tire. He's trying to get the advantage over Russell. Any chances of rain during the race? I don't know. I might have to check in later. So we have some new faces in here. So about less than a minute to go before the race. Once again, thank you for watching. Please hit the like button. Get we're getting close to 500 likes on this stream. Would be really appreciated. We could help you bring better quality. Any rain expected? Probably it's 80% humidity out there. All right, we have the formation lap underway. With how Max is starting on the inside, this should be interesting going to turn one. All right, the formation lap has started. Russell into turn one, starting the formation lap. Just to be clear, we are in the formation lap, not the first lap. Russell entering turn 9. Impressive lap from him yesterday just to hook it up onto pole right now. Verstappen did impressive as well. Antonelli did impressive as well. For a rookie, getting fourth. So, apparently unfortunately, Ollie might not be able to make it. But Russell is just approaching the grid, entering turn 16 right now. The previous winners were Norris, Sainz, Perez, and Vettel. So this is gonna be a fun one. I hope you are all ready for it. As as Russell enters turn, as Russell enters his grid slot, Verstappen follows. Albon is the last car, thanks to a penalty I had to take yesterday. So my stream is a little bit delayed, so I apologize if it might be a little bit delayed on your end. So starting grid is Russell. Hold on. So your starting grid is George Russell, Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Kimi Antonelli, Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Isaac Hadjar, Oliver Behrman, Fernando Alonso, Nico Hulkenberg, Liam Lawson, Yuki Tsunoda, Gabriel Bortoleto, Lance Stroll, Franco Colapinto, Esteban Ocon, Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly, and Albon rounding off the grid. It is going to be green flag at the back as Albon and Gasly are starting in the pit lane. It is Five, one, two, three, four, five red lights. And it's go for the Singapore Grand Prix. Russell with a good start. Max Verstappen right behind him. Oscar Piastri leading them into turn. Apologies. Lando Norris up two positions as he is attacking Piastri. Oh, they collide. Barely into the wall. Barely misses the wall for Piastri as I believe Hamilton. No, I believe Leclerc. That's Leclerc attacking Piastri right now in fifth. But man, what a start for Lando Norris up into P3, right behind Max Verstappen, and Piastri defends from Leclerc, but and he is successful as Hydrar goes for a move against Fernando Alonso down into uh, down into that turn as Fernando Alonso defends but Hadjar gets past. What a pass! Norris radio, I had contact. Just keep an eye. Parent Lando is, I believe, was the one who dive bombed Oscar on that one. So the FIA might have some interesting theories about that crash. But your current leader, George Russell, leading about a few tenths gap to Max Verstappen, followed by Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, and Charles Leclerc. Your top five, as Antonelli loses a place to Charles. Oh, Oscar Piastri could just cut going off track. I believe he has some sort of damage from that. He might have some issue as Leclerc closes up on him, not being able to uh, clean up an attack on Piastri. Piastri radio. Piastri is not happy with Lando Norris. Norris is up two. Leclerc is also up two. Piastri is down one. Just for your information. Russell already with a 1 second gap. Only lap two. Norris approaching v- Verstappen. So Russell just exited turn 13. Verstappen has lost 1.5 seconds to him already. Unbelievable. As uh, Leclerc is out of DRS range from Piastri. Piastri is out of DRS range for Norris. And Verstappen's also out of DRS range for Russell. Norris right up very close to Verstappen there, exiting turn 19. So let's see if we can make a move down into turn one. Will he? I don't think he will. No, he won't. So Piastri already 2 seconds behind Norris. What is going on? As the DRS train from Antonelli to Bartoletto forms, the top three are pulling away, I believe. Norris should give the place back. No, he shouldn't. Norris just dive bomb him, and I think that was just a racing incident from him. Russell already almost 2 seconds away from Verstappen there as he enters the Singapore sling going into the bridge. Alonso with the fastest first sector. Piastri has damage. I think he does. Knowing of knowing that. We got a donation. Mina Wang. Welcome to fans. Thank you. Thank you. I suggest. Thank you, Mina. Anyway, uh, Russell 2 seconds clear from Verstappen. It is how as the top three have been pulling away. Norris is in DRS range. Why is Leclerc not using DRS? He is not in DRS range at the moment. Some of the big movers here: Colapinto up 3, and Colapinto up 3. Alonso, Leclerc, Norris all up 2. Meanwhile, Sonoda has lost 4 places. I don't know. I do not know what happened. So, Garash, you there? Grash will be joining us for the stream in place of Ollie. Hello, Grash. How are you doing? Max, oh no. So Norris has unfortunately lost his DRS range to Verstappen, 1.1, 0.75 seconds now from the two. Russell has set a fastest sector 1. Max doesn't seem to be gaining any pace. He is
Can you hear
lost.
me now?
He has lost multiple seconds, almost down to 3.
Hey guys, can you hear me now? Cool, cool. Hey everyone, this is Grash now on the stream with you
Okay,
guys.
Grash is here. Hello, Grash. Are you there?
Hey. Yep, I'm here. So again, first lap, again, there was incident between Norris and Oscar. Norris came on the outside of Oscar, actually be on the inside and pushed him. There was collision there. So we suspect that there is damage between Norris and Oscar at that time. There was also another incident between, I believe, um, I think Behrman and Isaac. There was another incident noted by race control. So yeah, we're already 6 laps in. That we had incidents on that first lap. How are you doing, Scotch? What are you thinking so far? Can't hear me. You guys can hear me on the stream, correct? Okay, you guys can hear me fine. Cool, cool. So it looks like I'm taking over for the race this morning. Again, we're 6 laps in. Russell's actually coming across to the line to start lap number 7 right now. He's again has led this race. Has got on a 3.2 second gap on Max. Max has pulled about 1.8 seconds ahead of Norris, and Oscar's 2.6. So we've got cars spreading out in the top 5 right now. Clerk is 1.9 behind. Antonelli is P6, a half second behind Leclerc. So we did have Ollie, we had and Scotch on earlier. It looks like we've had some issues with tech this morning. So It was odd when I went to stream. Some reason my microphone was not on. Oddly, but anyways, back to the race right now. Again, Russell right now is in sector 2 on that 7th lap. Other big gains right now. Colpino is up 3 places using P13. Alonso up 2 places, P8. Leclerc is up 2 places, P5, and Norris is up 2 places, P3. The big drop right now was Tsunoda. He's dropped 4 places, so he's was P13 now P17. We have yellow flag. Ooh, why? It's thrown in sector 6. Why so? No one's in that sector, and the track has gone green. That's odd. So just I would ignore that yellow for right now. It looks like. Yeah, Russell right now on a rampage. Definitely, he's got a 3.6 second gap. He started on a medium tire. It's odd. It's they so it was expected a medium hard strategy. But we're looking at Verstappen, Alonso, Isaac, Colpino, Stroll, and Tsunoda all starting on a soft tire. So it looks like particularly maybe a soft hard strategy with these guys. Alonso, Isaac on used tires. Alonso two laps used on that soft, one on Isaac's soft tire. And then Max is again 2 laps used on his soft tire. Lando got a time penalty. Not currently right now. There's no investigations on either the McLaren incident or, either with Isaac or Isaac and Bierman. There was again a note that something noted that there was an incident between those two on lap 1. I didn't get a replay on what happened between them. Norris is being asked about his tires. He says that they're good and he's picking up pace. Is soft good in Singapore? I mean, it is the C5 compound, so we know it's going to perform decently well. The big question is he going to push? How long is he going to push on those softs, and he's going to then go to maybe to a hard tire? Maybe it would be interesting to see how that. I did not expect to see soft tires, to be quite honest. About Norris and Oscar. They're both on medium tires, fresh medium tires. So I'm expecting them to basically do a classic one-stop medium hard strategy. And Scotch is back with us. When you're ready to come back, my friend, unmute yourself. Again, you're listening to the Race Statistics channel. This is Crash with you with our live coverage of the race. We're right now on lap 9, about to hit lap 10. Russell's in the back straight, hitting 16, 17 at the moment.
Hello?
Hello,
Okay.
Julia.
Okay, hello guys. So we're on lap 9. The battle for second is Verstappen versus Norris. It is a gap of 1.6 seconds at the moment. So great. So Gresh, is there anyone interesting to is there any particular driver that you have a spotlight on for this race?
Particularly Max, because basically we're looking at a scenario where if Max right now is in P2, he's ahead of the McLarens. It'd be better if he had ahead of Russell, unfortunately. Basically, the question with Max is that it is possible for him to actually win the drivers' championship. It's within reason. It went from it's not impossible, but possible is the joke on the internet. People are asking about a penalty for Norris. So far, no penalty for Norris. I'm not even sure that they. I think they've noted it as a racing incident so far between the papayas.
And with McLaren struggling recently, what do you think that could be the cause of that?
I mean, I think it's just they're not developing the car. I mean, they're looking at 2026 already. Is one of the big reasons. Red Bull, particularly now that they brought the new team principal in after Horner left. I mean, he's going to go all in and push that team all the way to the end of this season. So I mean, Red Bulls just have got new advantages over McLaren, really. And I can't point to any particular thing. It's just like really, particularly the last two races have set a new vibe where McLaren's not invincible as they were earlier in the season. They're good. I mean, falling. It's not that they've fallen off. It's just they haven't moved forward like Red Bull has. Red Bull has brought upgrades, and McLaren hasn't, and that's huge right now. I think another answer is also that Max is also in rare form right now. He's won the last two races. Last weekend, he went to the Nerfide ring, and jumped in the GT3 car and won in dominating fashion. So Max is in form right now, and that's of all the teams right now, it's the McLaren team that's pointing out, look at Max, look at Max, look at Max. So.
And speaking of Max right now, him and Norris are, and the gap between Norris and Verstappen is getting smaller, but very lightly. It is a gap of 1.4 seconds right now. Max on a 13 lap old softs. Meanwhile, Norris on 10 lap old mediums.
Max crossing the line to start lap 12. Russell's ahead, 5.6 seconds. The gap for me for Verstappen and Norris is 1.7 now. So Max is starting to pull away from Norris by a little bit. The last lap, um, yeah, last lap is always weird because right now, like Norris was a tenth faster than Max, but again, Max has just gained another tenth on Norris on that first DRS zone from turn 5 to turn 7.
What happened to Piastri? Piastri had contact with Norris in going into turn 3, first lap, I believe.
Megatron is asking what is the pit delta. That means that's the time lost when you enter the pits. 23 seconds is now the pit delta. They've changed up how the pits works. You can go faster through that pit area is one of the things. So it was like 26, 28 seconds, now down to 23 seconds. I was asking why did Williams get a double DSQ yesterday? Basically, the wings that they were using can open more than they were allowed to. What I understand is the tool that they were using to calibrate the wings was set up not properly, and when the FIA went in and used their tool, it just showed that they had set up the wings improperly, and allowed for a bigger gap for DRS than allowed, and it just basically disqualified both cars. Russell on that last lap, fastest sector 1, sector 2, improving sector 3, again giving him the fastest lap of the race right now. He's now 6.5 seconds ahead of Max, and Max is now 1.7 ahead of Lando. Oscar's fallen back 4.3 seconds. Leclerc has fallen back 2.3, and then Antonio 1.3. Hamilton is a second back. Alonso is 7.3 back, and then we got Isaac within range, about within a second, and Behrman 1.3. So these are the drivers in points right now.
So let's talk about Isaac Hadjar for a second. With his stellar performances in uh, Zandvoort, do you think it's worthy of a promotion?
I think it's almost inevitable that Isaac's going to be promoted. My stance has been this is the last year with Yuki with the Red Bull family, and part of it is that he's a Honda driver, and with Honda going, there's no reason for him to stay with the team. What looks like potential future for Yuki may be is that he may be going over to is potentially moved to Aston Martin, and that's precipitated by the fact that Aston Martin's reserve driver is Drugovich, and he's leaving Aston Martin F1 to go to FE, and we've got Red Bull and Stake. So Borello's coming into the pits. People are asking what's the usual strategy. It's typically like a hard, medium, medium, hard type strategy. I'm a little curious what's going to happen with, and Tsunoda is going to be the other one coming in. They're going to change the wing of Bortoleto, so it's going to take a while for him. He's going to lose a lot of time. Tsunoda did a 2.1 stop. So Yuki started on soft tires. Bortoleto's going to hard. Yuki's going to hard tires as well.
So Bortola entering the pits with a new wing. Let's see Sonoda stop. Norris radio. Norris has hit the wall. Uh, gently, very gently though. He's at
Play.
Sonoda 2.1, not a bad stop. Bortoletto 11.2.
Yeah, I just saw the replay of that. That was Lando basically kissed his back right tire kissed the wall as they went by. I'm not sure which turn. Colpino's coming into the pits, and he's going to, I believe, a hard tire. It's a 2.7 stop for Franco.
Oh, so the damage that broke Bortoletto's wing came from, I think, the start of the race on lap 1. So let's see Norris's wall tap. Ooh, very, very close there on the close up. Yeah, just barely grazed it. There should be no damage on Norris, from what I can see. No, there shouldn't be. No, there's not. There's not.
So they're saying they may want to try and undercut Max, which is weird because they're on a medium tire. Max is on a soft tire. If they pit now, they've got 47 laps to go on that hard, which is possible. It's just um, you've got a medium tire, you've got an advantage over Max. Literally, right now is the advantage is to Norris on tires.
So the gap between Norris and Verstappen is shrinking. About 1.2 seconds separate the two. As we enter the
So
last corner, Norris is still not in DRS range. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it's note that Max is on on used softs, so there were 2 laps on top of already on those tires, so they're at 18 laps total. We're on lap 16 and there are 18 laps used tires soft. So they should, I should expect Max, particularly with the gap now dropping significantly, I suspect that they will pull Max in. They've already brought in Yuki.
How long is a pit stop? That depends. Uh,
But 20, the delta, the average delta right now is 23 seconds, and that's changed this
so
year because they
yeah.
changed up the pit lane.
So it could be about a loss about 30 seconds in the pit lane, if my math is correct.
No, 23 seconds.
Oh, 23. Okay.
So a good stop is under 3 seconds. Let's put that in perspective. A very good stop is 2 seconds or under. Austin Ellis 23 seconds pit stop, 28 seconds for Norris.
Mm,
What Austin is saying is that the past two races that uh, Lando has had
mm.
horrendous pit stops.
Horrendous pit stops.
Something has gone wrong with one of the wheel guns in both cases. So what should have been like a 2.3 stop ends up being like a 4.5 stop. Now, again, the only people who have pitted so far have been Colpino, Sonoda, and Borletto about 2 laps ago. Again, we've got Russell in his little world right now. We've got Max and Norris in their little world. Oscar is in his little world right now. And then we've got Leclerc, Anthony, Hamilton in their own little world. And then we've got Alonso with Isaac, Beerman, and Hulkenberg. And then we got Stroll, Alonso, Ocon, Sainz, then Gasly, Albon, and then Colapino, Sonoda, Borrello at the very back. That's where things stand with 18 laps completed in this race. We've got 45 laps to go so far. Any predictions you might think that might happen in to go?
Um, no particular interesting ones, other than the fact that Norris might lose another 2 seconds in his pit stop.
That we will have to see again. They haven't pulled either of them either Papaya into the pits as of yet. Someone's asking why Williams were disqualified, and again, basically the issue is with the back wings. They basically the setup on the wings the Williams had were allowed to open larger than they should have been allowed to, and literally the issue was they set it up with their tool. Tool says everything's okay. FI comes in with their tool, and the FI says like it's too big. And Williams is like, uh, if you say it's too much, it's too much. That's ultimately what happened. So ultimately, that what ends up happening in that case is that they were disqualified from qualification, which means they were just basically put to the back of the pack again. Reasoning they're allowed to race, even though they were disqualified from quali. Um, they did set representative laps during quali and during practice, and that allows the stewards allow them to race. What's happening with Oscar? On lap one, Lando managed to get ahead of him and bounced off of him. To be quite honest, and I think he's got more damage than that Norris does, and so he's just fallen back since then. Russell's going to fumble the car later. He has done this. Pointing out that he has crashed the car here, like on the last or second to last lap. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. He's crashed at the very end of the race. So you can't like again. He's leading right now, and he's got 9.3 and extending his lead. You just can't rule out that he's gonna finish the race. Was the soft for Max a missed gamble? No, not really. He's managed to keep a 1.1 gap, and McLaren's setting up for a pit stop, but for whom? And it's for so Max is now coming into the pits, having done 21 laps on soft. Again, been 19 laps, but it's 2 extra laps because they're used softs. Max is coming out on hard tires. I didn't get the stop time for Max, unfortunately. He's going to be ahead of right now Leclerc. Most likely, he's going to be ahead of Alonso coming out of the pits ultimately. So Max to hards. We're telling Max that the outlap is critical, particularly on those hard tires. Again, they're trying to get those tires up to temperature and speed, operating range as fast as possible. So right now, Max has dropped down to 7th, but he is 32 seconds behind. So the gap is the number we want to look at. Everyone ahead, you can subtract about 23 seconds, and that will give you an idea of where they would be relative Max. Again, right now, Russell is about 11 seconds ahead of Max at the moment. Norris would be about where Max is, about maybe 13 seconds back. So we're getting, with these pit stops, we're going to get these big wide gaps opening up. Right now, people are cheering for Max, cheering for Lewis. Isaac coming into the pits. It's a stop time, 2.4 stop time for Isaac, so that's not that bad. It's an average stop.
So I believe Norris is pushing just to get ahead of Verstappen once he gets in.
Yeah, he's right now 10 seconds behind Russell. I think that gap is dropping. He did improve on his last lap. His last lap was a 137.016, and Russell was about a tenth and a half slower. This is also to get any advantage on Max, given Max is already pitted. So this is the Max as basically undercut Norris and Oscar at this point. Again, we were at the end of that life of that soft tire as it is anyway. The fact that Max was able to keep a 1.1 second gap on Norris was big. Max has advanced about a few seconds. Gap has now dropped up at 30.4. Norris is now 9.9 behind Russell, so he's gaining on Russell right now. So
Right.
those
So
are the numbers, right?
Leclerc. Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, Leclerc coming into pit. These are the numbers to keep an eye on right now. Leclerc has gone to a hard tire as well. Ooh, that was bumpy. Did he hit the wall? It's very close. Comes Charles coming around Hulkenberg for 9th place. Yeah, 21 laps on that medium tire for Leclerc. It's interesting. Ferrari has a reputation for eating up their tires. So essentially, basically, Leclerc basically did what Max did on a soft tire. Alonso's still out there on a soft tire, and so is Stroll. So Aston Martin really pushing those soft tires right now. Solicitor is pointing out that Isaac Bidin is now set P17. Alonso Bissimigo at P15, P14 and 15. Yeah, again, there's about if you want to give an idea where a driver might be versus someone who hasn't pitted, take about 23, 25 seconds off their gap time, and that will give you a better idea. So right now, Isaac is at 63, 64 seconds. That would put him about 40 seconds. So that would put him around behind Alonso, between Alonso and Behrman, effectively. People are asking what happened to Max. Max pitted, so don't worry. You shouldn't be freaking out. Max pitted, and he would be about 5 seconds behind Russell right now. If we do about 24, 25. And he's actually got the fastest lap. That last lap was the fastest, 136.3, where Russell did 137. So nearly a whole second faster than Russell. Back Scotch, anything you want to point out that you've noticed so far in the race?
Uh, Nothing in particular.
I think the big question right now is when the bulk of the medium runners, which is basically everyone except for at this point everyone except for Aston Martin, when they're going to pit. VXT asking, did Leclerc pit too? Yes, he did. And he pitted about 2.5 laps ago. I want to thank everyone here right now watching the race channel. This is Grash with Scotch right now with our coverage of the Singapore race. Right now, Russell is leading this with a gap that has dropped by another second. It's now a gap of 8.8 to Norris. So he is pushing. Max is also pushing. The gap is about 28 seconds, but again, we have to account that he's also pitted in that regards. Oscar is about 13 seconds back, about almost 5 seconds, which is about, he's lost a little bit of time on Norris, and Antonelli's 8 seconds back from that.
Afzal Raja
And
M
quickly,
asking, hold on. Afzal
uh,
Raja M asking if North pits will he overcut Mets. There's a possibility he can, but probably not. He would end up in the same area as Max, but as I assume Max is pushing a little bit, he would probably end up behind him.
we're looking about maybe about 5 seconds difference between Max and Verstappen. Hamilton just pit. It's a 3.5 stop. That was again, anything above 3 is not good. So that's a big loss of time for Hamilton in the pits. And we're looking at him going to hard tires now. So Ferrari has pitted their drivers now. Red Bull has pitted their drivers. So we're looking at the top four right now are Mercedes and McLaren, who have not pitted yet. Professor was pointing out it's a gap plus 25. That's if they haven't pitted yet. Russell just came in the pits, 2.5 stop. So that's a second that he's gained on Hamilton, by pitting. And he's going to come out. Looks like behind. Here comes Antonelli. So it's a double stop. Wow, it's a double stop for Mercedes. Antonelli does 2.4. So they're going to come out ahead of. No, Russell's going to be out ahead of Max. Max is going to be ahead of Antonelli. That's going to leave the Pies up front by virtue of not having pitted yet. Antonelli's going to drop behind Alonso and Leclerc. Hamilton's going to pass. Hulkenberg's going to pit. So Max still another fastest lap. He's got another fastest first sector. So he's gaining. He's making a gain on. He's now 3.2. He's now gaining on Russell. We'll see if Russell starts making a charge once his tires get into operating range.
And
As it stands right now, Norris would drop behind Max, and Oscar is either dropping behind Norris or dropping further to around maybe where Alonso is, depending on that pit. Here comes Norris. .1 stop for Norris. That's a great time. That's a great time. So Norris is going to get an advantage on the pits. We'll see where he comes out. Again, Oscar's going to get advantage right now due to pits. Look. Oscar's going to so Lando's going to come out behind Max still. So it looks like Max got an advantage with the pit order. So Russell now is 3.5 ahead of Max. Norris is 5 seconds ahead of Max, 5 seconds ahead of Norris. Oscar now leading this race. If he pits right now, he would come out maybe. It's going to be dicey. He should be ahead of Alonso, but he could fall back even further to behind Leclerc, depending on the stop. So.
And I can recall that I don't think the McLarens have any pace to likely overcut Russell. Am I correct?
No, I mean, right now Norris is 7 seconds, about 7 to 8 seconds behind Russell right now. I missed. It was a slow stop for Oscar apparently in the pits. So here comes. So he's dropped behind Russell, Verstappen, Norris. He's coming out of the pits now. It's a question of whether he's ahead of Leclerc. Alonso's pitting. That's a bad stop. 9.2 for Alonso. Oh, that's going to take him out of contention. 9.2 stop. The front right tire gun did not engage properly. It took a while to get that into place. Alonso's dropped back to 14th with Albon and Isaac. It's effectively a drop of 5 places. So ultimately, Oscar's did come out ahead of Leclerc, but with a 3 second gap between Leclerc and Oscar at the moment. He's significantly back. The gap is 18 seconds to Russell. Norris is 8 seconds to Russell, and Max is 3.8 to Russell. So that's how we stand right now after our leaders have pitted. 35 laps to go. We are about halfway through this race right now. Again, you're listening to the Race 6 channel, and this is Crash with Scotch as we cover this race. XND and Twitch saying what's going on. You stepped away before the pit order started. Basically, you've been looking as the pit order went underway. We've now gone back to where we were before the pit order, with the exception of Alonso, who had a 9.2 stop. Come on, guys, don't spam chat.
So Antonelli, about 5 tenths back from Leclerc there. He seemed to be getting closer. He is in DRS range. He'll probably be able to make a move in about uh, 1 to 2 laps.
The other closest sciences within range, close to about a second within Ocon. Colby and Sonoda are basically our DRS rank train behind Alonso at this point. Hulkenberg jumping in and out of that train. The gap with Max is decreasing. It's now 4.0 seconds. And Norris is 4.3 to Max. So those are the numbers that I'm looking at right now to tell me the state of the race right now. Huge gaps, but a tenth in one way or another indicates movement in the race at this point. Alonso's pissed. No, oh no, yeah, no, absolutely. A bad pit just basically ruined his race. A lot of Max Verstappen in our Twitch chat. That is normal. We literally call them the Maxiteers. We've got so many. Any particular driver you root for, Scotch?
Uh, Not one at the moment. Used to be a fan of Leclerc before he started falling off, but mostly I cheer for midfield rookies. Speaking of midfield of the midfield right now, any particular driver that is doing well? I have my eyes on possibly Hajar for now.
Yeah, this doesn't seem to be, with the exception of Antonelli, this is not really a rookie race. I mean, of the rookies, Antonelli and Lawson are the only ones that are in the points, but Lawson is there by virtue of having not pitted yet at the moment. Yeah, so Antonelli being in the Mercedes, I mean, he's literally a pit stop behind his teammate at this moment in P6. But besides him, is this just not a rookie race? Isaac has looked good, but he's got one, two, like five people who haven't pitted who are ahead of him. Ocon right now pitting. Thank you for that note, Scholastic. I want to thank everyone who's watching right now. We've got a good few hundred of you watching on Twitch and a few thousand, almost 10,000 of you watching on YouTube right now. Thank you so much. We know you have options. We appreciate you being here. If you can like on YouTube stream, that will help us with the algorithm. Again, those who are just being here in chat helps us with Twitch. Okay, we're on lap 32 with now past halfway point. There's 31 laps left to go. Yeah, that's a mouthful for me. Moment, my apologies. So 31 laps to go in this race. Russell's just starting sector 2 right now. Will any more pitting? Yeah, there's still a lot of pits to happen. Lawson, Stroll, Sainz, and Albon have not pitted, so we suspect them to happen anytime soon. Again, the weird one is that Stroll has gone 31 laps on a soft set of tires. Max is getting on Russell, and that is true. He's now to 3.4 seconds behind. Norris is 4.3, so there's not much changed. Norris is about 7.7 back. Max is 3.4 back. Now that has moved up. Max has moved forward, only by a few tenths, but it is progress, and we still have 31 laps to go. Williams could be trying a medium soft strategy. Um, that'd be interesting. Albon is known to be a tire whisperer, so that is a possible strategy. The typical strategy is typically like a medium hard medium style strategy. Chris asking for a safety car, please. Someone's gonna have to hit the wall for a safety car.
From the looks of it, it seems that that Norris is closing more on Max, and Max is closing in on Russell.
I would actually say it's the opposite. Max is now, the gap is down to just about 3 seconds, so it's about 4 tenths gain for Max. Norris is still 7.4 back in terms of the gap, so he hasn't moved closer to Max. And Oscar hasn't moved. He's about 16 seconds back, so I think Oscar's actually moved up about 2 seconds. So, and right now has the fastest lap after pitting, but that was a few laps ago. He's currently now in P6. Leclerc is P5. He's 24 seconds back. Oscar's 16 seconds back to Russell. Norris 7.3 back. Max now under 3 seconds to Russell. Okay, right now we do have a DRS train forming with Stroll, Sainz, Behrman in that mix. That's 9, 10, and 11 right now. Of those, Behrman is the only one who's pitted of those three, so he's on fresh, hard tires. The other, Stroll is on used soft, 32 lap soft, and a 32 lap for mediums on Sainz. laps 29 laps left to go in this race. Again, this is the Racing 6 channel, and this is our coverage of the Singapore Grand Prix. Right now, the story of the race is that Max is making gains on Russell. Norris making gains on as well. He was 3.4. He's now 7.1 was the gap. Now it was 7.4. So right now, Oscar right now is 16.3. So he hasn't made any major gains on Russell at this point. Clerk's last lap, he just came across the line, was a 136.282. That is the best he's done so far. He's 25 seconds back. So. And he's losing time. He is at 27.1 is his gap, and that's the number we're looking at. He's about 2 seconds behind Leclerc right now. Again, one of the big questions coming in: Can Max join the title fight? Is it possible? Answer is yes. If Max wins every single race from here, or right now he's leading McLaren, he has the potential to win the drivers' championship. Now it'll be harder with him doing a P2 instead of a P1, but it is if McLaren's have another bad weekend, Max can gain huge points. So it will be harder with a P2 instead of a P1, but it's still possible. And given that we're talking about Max Verstappen, that's the key piece here, is that we see him go on runs. He's gone on a two race run already. Gap right now is 2.8 seconds to Russell. So Russell has stabilized a little bit. Of the last lap, they were about 135.8, within hundreds of each other. So that gap has stabilized between Russell and Max right now. Nightmare in YouTube chat. Stroll 34 on soft, mind blown. Yeah, that is crazy. He's in points, but he pits. He's gonna be out of the points. He's like about 60 seconds is his gap right now, and he's losing time is the big thing. Correct. So we can't go on soft again. He would go either to a medium or a hard. Uh, Again, he could go on a medium tire, given the way things have gone, if they have any medium tires left. So there's a lockup on Max. They're showing that Isaac. Yeah, this is Isaac and Alonso. Alonso's making a pass on him, and he gets. No, he doesn't. Oh, Isaac's kept ahead of him. Isaac's making a great defense on the former world champion, and he's going to pull away as they get to the start-finish line for starting the next lap. Alonso coming on the outside. Isaac's. They're fighting. This is a good fight, everyone. Alonso's staying within about car length. Ooh, squiggly, but he gets on the outside, and he's gonna pass. He's gonna get ahead of him. Is Isaac gonna? Is this battle gonna continue? Is he gonna stay with him? Looks like no. It looks like Alonso is now getting a gap on Isaac. Just keep an eye on that. Let's keep it. What a car length. That also has now allowed Colpino to get into range. Switch to another train here. I think that's the Science Behrman Albin train that we're looking at right now. And they are within range of Stroll. So that's Science on Stroll right now. Good action right now. Good racing action right now in the backfield. Here is Science stalking Stroll right now. He was stalking. Stroll has pulled ahead. This is a battle for 9th and 10th at the moment. Behrman is right behind Science as well. So if either of those make a mistake, he could benefit from it. This is the replay of Isaac and Alonso fighting at the moment. Thank you for basically a £5 donation from TKO22. Just adding color to the chat room. Thank you so much, my friend. You are regular here. I do see you all the time, and I appreciate you being in our chat room. Yeah, thumbs up to you, my friend. Jumping back, I believe this is Norris and Max we're looking at the moment. And while that was happening, Russell's managed to pull ahead. So his tires have really activated, and he's pulled ahead. So what was a 2.3 gap is now jumped to 4.9. So Max has lost like almost 3 seconds. While we were looking at the other battle, the word that you guys were in chat was saying that Max did lock up. That, and then we've got the battle for second. We've got Norris within 1.5 seconds of Max. This here could be a huge moment in the drivers' championship if Lando was able to catch him and get ahead of him, and that would be a huge jump on Max. That would put Max maybe out of contention. Probably would put Max out of contention in the drivers' championship, and that would give him a huge advantage over his teammates as well. So Max is asking about balance issue. Scassines, you are behind on the stream, my friend, because Max has pitted about 20 laps ago. We've got 23 laps to go in this race. We're in lap 40 right now, so we're about 2/3 through this race right now. Again, this is Racing Channel, and this is Grass with you. Live coverage of the race itself. The story right now is Russell is still leading this race. He is a 4.7 ahead of Max. Max was within half that gap a few laps ago. Right now, Norris is now 1.4 behind Max. So there's our podium right now. Oscar, who was in the podium to start with, has dropped back after a lap one incident with his teammate where Lando managed to pass him and bumped off of him. Well, thank you, serial killer. Max had a one very bad lap where he lost 2 seconds. That's why that's that bad. Oscar's pulling a lead. He has gained 2 seconds on Russell, but he's still like he's still six. He's still now 14 seconds back off of the top. Yeah, you guys are asking for people to crash. That's gross. That's not appreciated. That doesn't really. Yeah, you're also saying weird things that can't even happen. So let you know. We don't. You guys are asking for another crash gate, and yeah, you can go take your tinfoil hat somewhere else. Are they already lapping cars? Yes, Russell's about to lap Stroll. Again, he went 38 laps on that soft tire. He's at the back of the pack. Um, he's not. Okay, wait. Blue flags have been waved for Stroll now, so he now has to let uh, Russell by. Right now, we are on lap 42. There are 21 laps of this race. There are 62 laps total in this race. Again, Stroll has just gotten a blue flag and has been passed. Flex, what do you think about the 2025 season so far? It's been fun. I'm here to watch. McLaren has been dominating. I mean, right now, as it stands, McLaren needs like 16 points to take constructors. They have that with the 3-4. Max isn't winning this race, so that's in favor to McLaren. Yes, Max is going to gain points on them, but it could have been worse. Is really what we're looking at right now. The fact that Max lost 2 seconds on a lap, that's huge. He was in 2.8, 2.5 seconds away from Russell, and now he's 4.2. We've got 20 laps still left to go. Anything is possible, but still, yeah, this is the things have shifted in. Ooh, just saw some debris. Like a plate came off someone's car. We're looking at like the Sonoda Colapino, Hulkenberg, Borlau, and Gasly right now. Yeah, Max is complaining about the balance. I mean, he's stabilized, but he's not now gaining. Norris has fallen back to 2.1, so that's about 6/10 back from where he was previously on Max. Yuki came in. We're following Yuki. Did Yuki touch Colapino? He does. Colapino does go off track, and Yuki gets around him. So, oh, okay, he locked up and went wide. That allowed Yuki to get a pass, Colapino. Hulkenberg's wing. That's what I saw. So Hulkenberg's wing touched the back of Colapino's car, and there's debris come flying off. I don't know where. So far, so good. It looks like there's not debris is not on the racing line. They haven't called the yellow flag for that. Yeah, Oscar is right now, ultimately, he doesn't know what to do in his situation. And again, they're coming up. The leaders are coming up on traffic. So where is Russell? So Russell's about to pass. He is going to pass Ocon. So they're getting blue flag waves. Stroll's moved closer to Ocon, but he's now getting probably more blue flags being waved for him to let Max and Oscar, not Max, Max and Norris go by. Albon finally pitted. He went 42 laps on a medium tire. He's now on a soft tire. And Hulkenberg lost control of the back end of his car, went off track. He's now back on track, so we're now back to green flag running. Replay happened. He came. Oh, he reacted to one of the Alpines. Yeah, the looks like the Alpine braked in front of him. He slowed down for the turn, and it got Hulkenberg off by surprise, and he locks up and turns to the side. Russell's yelling at people, "Get out of the way!" Can we appreciate Williams getting to P9 already? No, we can't actually because Sainz hasn't pitted. That's a again Lawson and Sainz are P8, P9. That's not realistic. They haven't pitted. They're still on mediums. They're gonna have to go. I mean, if they're gonna go onto soft at this point, um, but they effectively add 25 seconds to their times. They're going to drop them behind Borletto. They're going to be lapped effectively. Yeah, I mean they're effectively lapped by the fact that they're going to have to be pit. They have to pit. So Alonso's really eighth and Behrman is really ninth in that order right now. That put Isaac to 10th. Again, right now the gap is 3.7 seconds max to Russell, so that's a decrease. We're now in under 4 seconds, so that's an improvement from Max. Um, Again, ultimately Russell does have the tire advantage, 6 laps advantage on Max on those hards. So we'll have to see what's going on. Can Oscar catch Lando? Uh, he has improved. He's actually now down to 9.5. He has an advantage um, on Lando, and he's got major advantage on both Russell and Verstappen. Hamilton box. Hamilton's pitting again. Why? 2.3 stop for Hamilton. That makes sense because he's got a huge gap. It wouldn't. He's not gonna really. The gap from him to Lawson is huge. And Hamilton's gonna go on to soft tires. They're used, but again, with 16 laps to go, we've seen them go 20 plus laps. He's already passed Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg's dead last right now, so basically he's not on the same lap as Hamilton. So he blue flags for him. That would put Hamilton back 22 seconds to Antonelli. With 15 laps to go, he's going to have to charge. It's going to have to be hammer time to see him make anything of these tires. Alonso in the ninth right now. Again, why is that? Who pitted? Yeah, right now Lawson is eighth. So Alonso is effectively no. Alonso got ahead of Sainz. So Alonso is effectively eighth because Lawson still has to pit. Behrman would be effectively ninth because both Lawson and Sainz have to pit, and Isaac would be effectively 10th because Lawson and Sainz have to pit. Would the back markers affect leaders like the safety? Not like the leaders. They're more effectively traffic that they have to get around. But it's not the safety car. Safety car. When you bring out the safety car, you're basically neutralizing the race. You're neutralizing with the virtual safety car. You're neutralizing the race, and with a safety car, you are neutralizing and basically bunching up the race. So the gap that Verstappen has on Russell would disappear. Norris right now within DRS range of Max. It's coming on. He's got to deal with one of the Alpines. So it's now just Max and Norris again. So Norris again effectively lost about a tenth dealing with the one of those Alpines that's a back marker at this point. Hamilton going full purple right now. Does not improve in his third sector, but he does have the fastest lap, 133.808. So it is now hammer time for Hamilton. 18.2 is the gap to Antonelli. That's the number we're going to keep an eye on. He's already under. All right, 17.8, 17.6. So 6/10 already gained on Antonelli. Next update. And Norris is within DRS range of Max, but he's at the end of that DRS range. And Max has now dropped back to 5.9. So he's lost time again. Lawson is finally pitting. It's a 2.5 stop. He's gonna drop him out of behind Lawson right now. Rips Daniels fastest lap. Yeah, last. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's Hamilton on softs. Yeah, that's so Lewis may want to attack with. That's exactly what's going on. He is on fresh soft tires basically, and he's making his attack right now. Next lap was a 34.3, so half a second less, but he's still gaining. It's now he's under 15.5 is the gap. 15.3, so he's still gaining significantly. Just significantly far back from the next person ahead of him. But having said that, he's in clean air. By the time Antonelli is gone, Hamilton is in clean air right now. At the top of the race right now, Russell is right now moving, gaining on Sonoda, who is the back of the pack, with Isaac Bierman and Sainz. So he's about to start lapping people who are technically in the points. Bloom must pit before lap 62 or it's instant disqualification. That is correct. He has to. Again, you're required to use two different compounds in a normal race. So what we have right here, you are required to use two compounds. Right now, science has not used that second compound. Blue flags have been waved for Colpino, and he has been passed. So now next is Sonoda. Right now, Norris is 0.6 behind Max, so there is a potential fight to be had in the moment within a lap or two. Hamilton gap is under 13 seconds now to Antonelli. We are on lap 51. There are 12 laps to go in this race right now. Getting to the end of this race right now. Again, you're listening to Race 6 channel. This is Crash with you live. And Science has finally pitted, and that's going to drop him out of the points for that reason. We'll see what he goes on to. I suspect it would be a soft tire. Did 50 laps on that medium tire. That's going to drop him. Yeah, he goes to a soft tire. He's right now. Take a look at that. Head of Ocon P15 after pitting. Top seven have changed in 10 laps. That's to be expected at times. This was a very tactical and strategic race right now. I mean, pit order was all the matter right now. The big question is, will Norris overtake Max? He's within 7/10. Max is under 4 seconds to Russell. He's been gaining and then losing time. Both Russell and Norris have a tire advantage on him for about 8 to 9, no, 7 to 8 laps advantage on those hards. Max has gone 32, whereas Russell 26 and Norris 24, and then Oscar 24 laps. Oscar is about 10.4 back at this moment. Norris is getting DRS on Max, and that is helping him stay within DRS range and to keep up with Max at this point. Russell right now has passed Sonoda, has passed Isaac. Those two will be passed shortly by Max and Norris anytime soon. That traffic is going to affect. And here comes Norris. He's close. He's within a quarter second. That's about 2 car lengths back from Max right now. An eye as things progress. As it stands right now, McLaren is going to earn 27 points, and that's going to push them into the Constructors' Championship for 2025. That could be more points, and you see, who did it just pass? They just passed Sonoda. Oh, I was tight between those two for a moment. So as it stands right now, when we got 9 laps to go, Russell has pulled away 5.4 seconds, 5.5 seconds from Max. So he's clearly out. And his only big issue right now is traffic ahead of him. The next driver for him to pass is Behrman. Antonelli just passed Leclerc on track. And that will leave Hamilton 5.2 seconds behind his teammate right now. Hamilton has gone to soft tires, has been charging. See, right now the gap is 4.8 seconds from Hamilton to Leclerc. Ideally charging right now, he's got ahead of Leclerc on track. He's about half a second to 0.7, depending on where they are on track. Yeah, traffic will slow people down as things happen. But right now, the traffic that we're looking at is Russell has Behrman and Max and Norris has Isaac. Oscar's about to pass Sonoda. And that is, I think, Colpino and Sainz are fighting at the moment. Stroll gets ahead of Bortoletto for P14 right now. Antonelli, Leclerc, Hamilton are on a line right now, but Antonelli's about to get the back of Ocon and Lawson, of the two drivers who are in the back, have been lapped already. Eight laps to go right now. Russell right now on the middle of the track in sector 2. Norris has fallen out of DRS range. He was at one point a quarter of a second behind Max. He's now fallen back a full second, so he's not getting DRS now, and that will allow Max to make separation from Norris easier. Oscar right now 3.2 behind his teammate. Hamilton right now only 1.1 behind Leclerc right now. Lewis has reached Charles. At any point, I suspect that team orders will come into play here. And Leclerc will be told to let Hamilton pass. Hamilton just passed, I believe, Ocon on track, so he's behind. Max has a gear problem? No, Max doesn't have a gear problem. I know he was complaining about balance early in the race, and I wonder if that was truly what was happening. Hamilton has now passed Charles, so that's a swap between 6th and 7th. So he's now 2.6 seconds behind Antonelli. So now is a chance for him to charge with 7 laps to go, to charge and to potentially pass the rookie on track. Okay, right now, Norris right now is 0.8 behind Max. He's in DRS range. See if Norris can actually catch Max and get ahead of him. That would be huge in terms of the drivers' championship, in terms of locking Max out of that championship. Yeah, I mean, that's a no-brainer in terms of the team to let Hamilton pass. He's on soft tires, and they're trying to get him to charge up on Antonelli, and he could. Right now, the gap is 2.7 seconds to Antonelli. 2.5 right now. We are on lap 57. Russell's on the back section of sector 2, coming to turn 13, which is a DRS zone. I want to thank everyone who's here. Again, the hundreds who have been watching on Twitch, thousands have been watching on YouTube. Again, earlier this weekend, we did hit 146,000 subscribers. We're almost 400 away, actually 350 away from 147. So if you haven't liked and subscribed, now's a great time to do it. Hit that bell, get notifications when we go live on YouTube. For those who are on Twitch, follow the channel and you'll get notifications whenever Twitch decides to give you a notification. Luckily, we do start our sessions about 45 minutes to an hour before. Our stream starts about 45 minutes to an hour before the session. So you should give you enough time to get that notification on Twitch. We are on other channels. I know at one point we were on TikTok and Facebook. And those who are watching after the fact on video on demand, thank you so much. I know you have choices. Again, this is Grash with you on the Race Statistics channel. Again, this is our live coverage of the Singapore Grand Prix race. Again, the story right now is Russell has basically controlled this race from the start. The only time anyone has been ahead is because of pit order. Max right now is 6.3 seconds back, so this is pretty much Russell's race to lose, which we have seen him do. We've seen him crash in the last 5 laps of this race in the previous years. So Max right now is 6.2 seconds back. Norris within DRS range, and that's where our action pretty much is. Oscar has been advancing, but he's still 2.3 seconds back. Anthony is 28 seconds back from Russell. Hamilton right now has passed his teammate. He's 1.6 seconds back. So he's still advancing. Still a chance for him to potentially make a move on Antonelli to go from 6th to 5th. People are asking me not to irk the F1 gods. Again, I do have a reputation of red flags, particularly during practice. Bierman's getting black and white flags for track limits, so he's gone off the track multiple times. Like the next one, I think he'll get a penalty, is essentially what they're telling him. Actually, I have the F1 calendar synced to my Google calendar. Yeah, that's one of the good things. F1 has has a way you can subscribe to the F1 calendar. I did that like 2 years ago, and they keep updating as things happen. As a new season happens, it updates my calendar, so I know when all the sessions are happening in my time because of this. Seeing the Russell fans come out, where have you guys been? That's really cool. That's cool to see you guys come out in support of Russell. Yeah, the 3 laps to go basically right now in this race. Uh, see some of the haters come out now. Looking right now again, Russell right now leading this race. You guys are being offensive. I'll just tell you right now, if you're going to invoke a terrorist name, at a poke at Russell, you're going to just be thrown out of chat. That's just obscene and out of line. Yeah, someone says Hope George Cards is illegal. Well, he's been disqualified because of I think he was underweighted for some reason. It was a long race, and basically the car was just underweighted. Eric texting, hey, where do you watch this from? I'm watching it from F1 TV. I'm not sponsored to say this, but basically it's my favorite way to have watched F1. To be quite honest, I've done places I will not mention. I've done ESPN Plus, but ultimately I like F1 TV. I get a different commentary crew from the Sky Sports crew, and they're actually better. That's Julian Palmer is one of those commentators on that crew. And we are on the penultimate lap right now. Only 2 laps to go right now. Right now, he is leading by 5.6 seconds. Right now, the question is there a fight between him and Verstappen to happen? And Ferrari has given up. Leclerc has passed Hamilton. They've learned their lesson. They weren't going to get in range of Antonelli, so they've decided to have Hamilton drop back and let Leclerc pass for P6. This is after last race where they tried to do that switch, did team orders, and then tried to do the switch back at the end of the race and failed to do so. Did I miss something? What did they touch? Again, we're on the final lap right now. And Russell is leading this race. He lost his brakes. Let's see. Ooh. Let's see if Hamilton makes it. Again, Alonso is 22 seconds back. He's quickly gaining on Hamilton because he's got to slow down. And that is going to be, we're coming to the end of this race at this point. It's going to be interesting because Hamilton is coming to the end of this race. He's still got to do one final lap. Russell's coming up on Behrman. Behrman's gonna make it. So here comes Russell. Russell has won this race. Here comes Max. Max is going to come into P2. Norris P3. Oscar P4. And that's going to give McLaren the Constructor Championship. So it's going to finish down a lap. So the question really right now, is the race over for Hamilton and Alonso? Is the one question right now. Can he gain his spot on Hamilton by the sheer fact that Hamilton is slower? and they're still effectively, again, Hamilton and Alonso Behrman still effectively racing at the moment. They did take the lap before Russell crossed the line. Hamilton right now coming to 16, 17. Alonso within tenths of him. Is he going to pass? He's going to try for it? No, it's Hamilton's gonna get ahead of Alonso. So there was a moment there where potentially it could have been basically a moment where Alonso could have passed Hamilton on track for a place, but it came close, but not quite. He comes in 0.4 behind Hamilton. So again, congratulations to McLaren. They are our constructors champions this year. They've got it with multiple rounds to go. As it stands right now, Max has gained points on Norris and Oscar. Not as much as he would really need, but it's something, and we'll take it right now. It will make this harder for Max to take the drivers' championship. This would have been disastrous if Max was one and Russell second. Congratulations to Russell for winning this race, taking pole yesterday, and for dominating this race effectively. Graphics seem wrong. How can Oscar be ahead of Oscar? Oscar be? I mean, how North be ahead of Oscar? Not sure. We did have a prediction. Yeah, let's do the predictions right now, boss. Yeah, um, I'll let you do it, boss. I'll jump off in a moment. Again, for me, this is going to be end of the weekend for me in terms. You'll see me on October 16th, where for free practice one for the American Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. I am basically about 3 to 4 hours. Given again, I got to go through Dallas and Austin to get to the track if I were to go, so it could probably be 5 hours of traffic driving. But I'm north of I'm in the Dallas area, so I'm north of Austin. So I'm in the time zone. So track time is my time zone when we come back on the 17th. Um, Boss is gonna show you. So this is gonna be the end of the weekend for me. Boss is gonna show you our predictions and go over them with you. So from my hand, take care, everyone.
Thank you, Grash. Yeah, now it's racing statistics speaking. I know that today we had a lot of commentators, some technical issues, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I just wanted to go quickly with you because, we are trying for first time the predictions. So I shared with you my predictions in quali, and I also gathered the results of all of your predictions in the link that was shared during the streams in FP, all the free practice sessions, and in qualifying. And you can see now on screen we had more than 215 predictions. So let's see who got it better, the channel or the chat. So for the win, I predicted Verstappen. 70% of you also predicted Verstappen, so none of us got this one. For the team points, my prediction was for Mercedes, and 53% of you voted for McLaren. So I think this is a point for you guys because, yeah, 35 points for. Well, actually, no, I was wrong. Actually, I win this one, sorry. So it's 35 points for Mercedes, right? And for McLaren, it's gonna be like 27, I think. So yeah, this one is a point for me. Then both of us predicted one red flag with 39% of all of your predictions predicting one red flag. None guessed this one. And yeah, for the DNFs, we didn't have any DNF and we were predicting 2 DNFs. So nothing there too. I'm not sure who won driver of the day, but I am assuming it wasn't either Hajar or Verstappen. So let me see if anyone can check who won driver of the day on the official F1 site. That would be great. But I doubt it was Verstappen or Hajar. Alonso driver of the day, says Rebling. So yeah, none of us got that one. So I think from all of the predictions, it was just the channel that guessed the team points is gonna be Mercedes. So this is 1-0 score for the channel. So for the next race, we're gonna do it again. And yeah, let's see if you can get the predictions better in the next race. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Remember to like the stream and to subscribe to the channel because we do this for every session. And as soon as this stream ends, you will be taken to the next race live stream. So make sure to like it before you go because that really helps us out. Thank you and see you.